Welcome to Jill on Money, powered by The Compound. It is so exciting to be with you today. We are trying to take the mystery out of your financial life. We're trying to help you make better financial decisions. If you would like to join us on the air, go to jillonmoney.com. Click the Contact Us button. Send us an email. Tell us you want to be on the audio part of the show. Tell us you want to be on video. Today we're doing video, which is so much fun. I love it. And we are always delighted to have the lovely Mark Talercio as the executive producer and on camera. Why is your ear up? Was it her? Oh, okay, there you go.
Mark, you know why? Because this is what I used to do when I was in the studio with you back in the day as producer.
Oh, why is that?
I don't because someone was always barking in my ear.
Oh, I see. For those of you who don't realize, Mark and I have not been in the studio for years now, 3 years, and we started in the studio. And Mark, I was just thinking about, because we were talking about doing our year-end show for CBS. Do you remember our first year-end show? That's how we actually met.
It was you, me, and the late, great Dave Barrett.
Exactly right. And it was 2009. And we had some great tape on that. Because we interviewed a lot of great people for that.
I remember two people, Sheila Bair.
Yes.
And Andrew Ross Sorkin.
Yes, we had Sheila, we had Andrew Ross Sorkin, we had Mohammed.
Oh, Mohammed
Al-Arian. We had a couple of other people, but we had a lot of tape on that. It was crazy.
And we didn't really know what the heck we were doing.
No, not at all.
Like throwing things against the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Seeing what sticks.
You know, our two former bosses, Harvey and Constance, are like, give us a year-ender. And we're like, all right, fine. We'll do what we got to do. Meanwhile, this show is all about you. And the you today is our special guest star, Laura, who's on the line from Michigan. Hey, Laura, what's going on, girl?
Nothing much. How about you both?
We are excited to have you. We are always just experimenting and pushing ourselves, so this is very weird. So here we are doing video, and it's so much fun. And thank you for joining us. So, Laura, what brings you to us? What's going on?
I have a few questions about my asset allocation and then my partner's asset allocation based on our specific circumstances, and then a few additional questions that I have listed out to remind myself so I do not forget.
I love a list, my girl. This is good. Okay, so first of all, Laura, how old are you?
I am just turned 36.
So nice. What a sweet age, Mark. 36. Life was so simple. And how old is your partner?
45.
Oh, okay. All right. A little bit older. Okay. A little bit different in lifestyle. You guys have kids?
We have one kid, a daughter who is 2 years old, and we are one and done.
Oh, boy. Here we go. This is the Mark Talercio route of parenthood.
Yes.
And are you guys officially married, or are you partnered?
No, not officially married. No plans to, but we've been together for about 6-7 years now.
Okay.
But we have all of our estate documents done so that should anything happen, you know, we will take care of each other and our daughter.
Okay. Very good. That's good to know.
This is really like me.
I know.
Baby, no marriage.
I was so surprised, by the way, just to be clear, Mark is a traditionalist in general. So when you had the baby before getting married, I was very surprised by that. Not because I have a judgment. I just thought it was out of character for you. But you didn't care at all.
No. First we owned real estate together, then we had a baby, and then we got married.
So it's a very New York story, basically. The most important conversation was around real estate. So Laura, what do you guys, even though you're not married, you combine forces in terms of income and management of your retirement and all that stuff? Do you kind of consider yourself a unit?
Yes. We take a holistic view, and I probably manage the money more than he does. So, but we are looking at it holistically where, we plan on retiring together.
Okay, good. All right. How much money do you guys make together?
Let's see. So I make around 203.
203 grand in Michigan. You're living large, mama.
Yeah,
okay.
That's true.
All right. And what about he?
He is 170.
Okay. Wow. This is good. This is already a good story. I'm happy about it. And are you guys both employed by firms, and either of you self-employed?
No, we both work for companies.
Okay. And are you using retirement plans through work?
Yes.
Okay. What are you doing? Tell me about it.
So I have a 401k with work. We do have the option to do a Roth 401k. And so that is what I have been doing the past few years, maxing out that Roth 401k. So right now in my retirement, I have about, let's say 329. And 106 of that is Roth. And then,
Yep.
223 of that is, the remainder is pre-tax.
Good.
Our employer matches like up to 10%. So they're
Whoa.
throwing, very, very generous. And all of that is pre-tax.
Okay. I got it. So, and you're maxing out.
Yes.
Okay.
maxing
Got
out.
it. Okay. And what about him?
He is also maxing out, but he got a later start to retirement. His income has really increased the past few years. So his retirement is 72 in pre-tax and then 32 in Roth. He gets an employer match of about 3.5%. And he is currently he also has a Roth 401k. And so his contribution is all going to the Roth.
Great. That's awesome.
What was he doing that he got such a late start?
So he was probably making, when I first met him 6+ years ago, around like 70K. And
No,
so
it
it's
looks
really,
like you've been a very good influence on him.
yeah, I like to think so.
Definitely.
I'll take some of the credit.
Definitely. Absolutely. And, but there's no other children from prior marriages or anything like that for him.
No.
Okay.
No.
Just checking. That can eat up a
We
lot
both
of money.
have had serious, like a marriage before, an engagement before, which is maybe why
this is when it's getting interesting now. Yeah. Okay.
This is where the camera goes off.
That's right. Camera off. Okay. What about, so you've got retirement assets. You've put a lot of money away. Are there other retirement assets, either old accounts? Do you have a brokerage that's a non-retirement account? Like, what's going on?
Yes. So I'll go through mine first.
Okay.
I have an HSA with $1,000 in cash, which is required by the employer, and then about 15,000 invested. I also have a brokerage that's about 74,000 right now. That is with Vanguard and all invested in Vanguard index funds. I think about maybe 6,000 of that is what more of like fund money, but 5,900 of that is invested in Berkshire Hathaway. And so it's really only $100 where I've realized I've done poorly with my stock picking.
Wait a second. Are you upset about Charlie Munger dying?
I am sad. It's funny because I think about like both of them and, they're still working and your perspective of, working with some of the people who want to retire at like 45 and stuff. And I see, you can see the value of doing something that you enjoy for a long time.
Yeah. If you enjoy it, that's great. I mean, and these guys definitely enjoyed it and they love making money. That was the other thing that was so interesting.
There is that.
They're really amazing. So, all right. So you've got this brokerage account, you got the HSA.
Oh, I also have
tell me more.
RSUs, about like 8,700. And so those 100 shares vest each year. And so that will be like around, $2,000, $2,500.
I'm not counting on it.
Yeah.
It probably works for some big car company. It's going to go away anyway. Michigan, everybody works for a car company. I don't even know that.
It is not a car company, but there is some relationship.
Okay, I understand. All right. So is that it for the money that's in your name?
Yes.
Okay. What about Mr. Partner?
Okay. So Partner also has an HSA, about $2,000 in cash, and then $13,000 invested.
Okay.
So he also, earlier this year, his mother passed away.
Oh.
And so he did receive a few $100,000 worth of inheritance. Some of that went out to pay off his student loan, so he no longer has any student debt. He also threw a chunk of that into our daughter's 529. And then kind of remaining investments, he has a brokerage, probably worth, so 167. And when I first got my hands on it, it was invested in so many different funds that were overlapping, very expensive mutual funds. So I've been trying to minimize that. And I do have questions associated
Okay.
with how to invest
I got it.
that.
No sweat.
And
So,
then,
but there's no other debt though, because like the student loan was paid off, right?
correct.
Okay, good. And so he's got this brokerage account with a bunch of crap in it. We'll try to streamline it. How much money is in the 529 account for your daughter?
Okay, so we have like a few separate 529s. So his 529 for her is 50,000.
Mm-hmm.
My 529 for her is about 13,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then my parents have one for her that's probably around 2,000. We don't contribute to it consistently. My employer contributes $100 a month to it, up to $10,000. So
Interesting.
That's a nice perk.
That is a nice
Yes.
perk. I like that perk.
Yes.
That's a great perk. I mean, it
Mhm.
sort of damages anyone who doesn't have a child, but
But
you know what I'm
could
saying?
Still,
What do you
like,
get? What, like, oh, thanks. You put in my nieces. Who cares? Give me the money. Thanks a lot, Laura, forgetting about us childless, us barren people. Is there anything? Okay, wait a second. So that's the 529. We got his brokerage. You got all of his money, right?
He also has
Oh.
2 inherited IRAs.
Oh, so he has to start taking that out. How much is in the inherited IRAs?
So there's about 21,000 in one, and then
Mhm.
16,000 in the other.
Okay. So we've got 10 years to get that out. Okay. And what about cash in the bank?
So we have about 45 total, and about 24 of that is in a high yield savings account, and then 21 is in 2 CDs maturing in April.
Okay.
So we consider like that to be our emergency fund. I
Good.
do think it's a little light for us right now.
Okay. Do you guys both feel secure in your jobs?
Yes.
That seemed like a hesitation.
I feel secure in my job. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys own a home?
Yes.
What's-
We have a mortgage of about 705.
Whoa. That's
The
a
home
real
is worth
number.
about like 820, 850 compare under Zillow.
Okay. 705 mortgage. What's the interest rate?
5.25.
Whoa. When did you buy this?
About a year ago
Mm-hmm.
when the market was crazy.
Uh-huh. And you've got this is a fixed rate, or did you get an adjustable?
Fixed rate.
Okay. You love this house?
Yes, the plan is to, stay here. She'll go to public schools in this area.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we're going to get to your questions. Mark, did I miss anything else in life insurance?
Yes. So we both have a 20-year life insurance, term life insurance.
Yep.
For 1.5. And then I think each of us have, some life insurance
Through
that's
work.
provided for free from our employer.
Good. All right, great. All right, let's talk about these asset allocation questions. So what's on your mind?
Okay, so first question is asset allocation for my 401k. It is currently invested in a Vanguard target date index fund, but based on some of your previous discussions with previous people, I think that I could probably do it differently and cheaper.
You've graduated.
You've graduated
Yes,
from the
yeah.
target date fund. We're going to send you a diploma.
Thank you.
Mark, you want to do a little bit of the asset allocation 101 for Laura?
I think, it's funny. Like, what's the cutoff? When do you graduate from a target date fund? When you have
You know what
like 100,000?
I used to say 100. I used to think 100. I mean, some people literally do not want to do anything, so it's
And that's fine. That's
I
fine.
know,
That's
but-
fine. I'm totally fine if somebody just wants to, set it and forget
Right.
it.
So, what is the 401k? Where is it held? What's the big company that is the house?
But
I don't know.
You don't know, but it has
it's-
it has Vanguard funds.
It has Vanguard funds. So,
Okay.
like our options are Vanguard Total Bond Market,
Yep.
500 indexed,
Yep.
Ding,
extended
ding.
market, and
Wait,
then
extended
total
market.
international stock.
Okay. So we have extended market. You said you have a bond market, and then you also have an international, right?
Correct.
Okay. So Mark, give her the allocation. Let's go.
Well, she's a youngin. She's only 36 years old. So
How do you feel about risk before we go crazy?
I'm good with risk.
Okay.
I'm willing to take some risk.
Now, Jill will disagree with me, but I would say given your age, I would have 80% in stocks. And, you
Okay.
see, I can hear
No,
you
no,
hear
I'm
Jill,
good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm
that
good.
hurts. I would have 80% in stocks and I would have 20% in fixed income, the bond.
And what do you want to do? You want to extended market would be 65%, 15.
What,
is it-
international?
Yeah. 10.
Yeah,
10.
I would probably do 10 international, 70 US stocks if you want to do the extended.
Mhm.
Some people might just say do 70% in the S&P 500.
Yeah. I think the extended market is fine.
I have no problem with the 500 if that's
Either
what you
one.
want to do.
Right. Either one of those. So
Full disclosure, I am a 500 person.
Really?
If you give me the two options, I'm picking the 500.
All right. Fine.
Now,
Now,
should I split, do a percentage in the 500 and a percentage in the extended?
No, one or the other, because there's going to
Just
be a lot of overlap between the
pick
two.
one. Pick one.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And you can do that in both your Roth and your traditional, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Now, what about partner in his retirement account? What are his allocation options? Similar?
I actually don't know,
Hmm.
but he's currently invested in an index fund.
Fine.
For him, what would you
A little less
what would
risk.
you recommend?
Well,
if he has
he's an
some
old
low-cost
man.
Yeah,
Mom-
he's
Yeah,
older.
He's an old man. So,
I would say, if you're 80% stocks, I would say he's 70%.
yeah, 70-30 maybe. And then in your brokerage, we're going to talk a little bit about that. That's slightly different for the two brokerage accounts.
Okay.
But that's basically when anyone is listening, unless you if you're excited about playing with the stocks and having some fun, there's nothing wrong with having a fun money account. We were just talking about that with downtown Josh Brown. And I just like it to be a smaller percentage of the total than maybe some other. So we would say 5 to 10% of your total invested assets. You could have the play account. Okay. So that's about right. I mean, you have 74,000. He's got 167,000, but that's not all in stocks. That's, some portion of that should be in index. And, I think that in his brokerage, tell me, how did you clean that up?
Let's see. Okay. So it was, so over 15 ETFs and mutual funds.
Did you say 15 different ones?
Yes, over 15 mutual funds and
That's crazy.
ETFs.
Yeah.
And I kept bugging him saying, hey, sell this one and then buy these. And he finally said, here's the login information.
Oh, I love this guy. Let me delegate this to you. So
Yes.
is there when he inherited the money, right? He inherited this brokerage account? Is that what happened?
Yes.
Okay.
So, it was
So
split.
he
Yeah.
got a step up in cost basis, meaning the cost basis was established at his mother's date of death. Okay. And when was that? When did she pass away?
Earlier this year.
Okay. So there's probably some embedded gains, but not huge. This
Yes.
is the time to make the big changes. This is the time, for real.
I've sold some,
Mhm.
and it's now down to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
6 is a lot. What do you
Yes,
need
I
6
agree.
for? What are my 6?
So, under bonds, so currently there's 14% in bonds, some in AGG, and
Yeah,
then some in
that's a bond
13,000
ETF.
in DHRIX, which is Diamond Hill core bond, and it's almost also like a 0.5 expense ratio.
Yeah, we're out of that. Goodbye. I'm sure that may even be down in value. We don't.
It
I'm not,
is.
okay, sell that. Good.
Okay.
And then we'll have some cash to reallocate, and you'll be able to do that. Okay, now we're at 5 funds. Keep going.
Yes, and then under the large cap, which makes up about 62% of his of the brokerage, there's VTI, which I've been kind of shoveling money in whenever we sell anything.
Yep.
And then about $12,000 in Vong, the Russell 100 or Russell 1000 growth.
Mark is giving you a big negative on that one. You probably have lost some money on that, but also.
So did you say there was a total of 3 bond funds?
No, only 2 bond funds.
2. We
now,
got
but there
rid
was
of
a lot
one.
more earlier.
Right.
Oh,
Okay. So there's VTI, there's the Russell 1000. What else you got in the stock?
And then under international, currently invest in 24% of part of his brokerage. And then it's IXUS, the iShares Core MSCI Total International Stock.
Uh-huh.
And then VXUS, so Vanguard's Total International Stock.
Pick one. Let's move
Do
on.
the Vanguard. And it should 25% is too much.
Yeah. So maybe we sell that, and then that's that. And then that's good. And get rid of that Russell thing. I think that's done too. So when you reallocate, though, let's make sure we understand what the tax liability is. It should not be a lot.
No.
It should not be a lot. So let's clean that up. I like this. Hey, gang, you getting the drift here? Mark and I very much like, let's make it easy.
Less is more.
Less is fine. It's just fine. Mark, do you want to talk about your individual stock holdings right now? What do you own?
I don't have any.
Oh, why?
Because I sold. The one that I had, I sold. I actually made good use of the loss this year.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Because we had to free up so much money for the purchase of the new home.
Yes.
So I will have no tax.
No
liability.
Peloton. You're done with Peloton.
I mean, I use Peloton every day, but bye-bye stock.
All right. Laura, does this solve most of your problems?
Yes.
I feel like there's a moment. What else?
Huh?
What other question do you have?
Okay. So, question about converting amounts within my 401k to Roth. So, depending on kind of where I am in the tax brackets, I've sometimes been converting amounts. Like this year, I converted 10,000 to a Roth. Is that something I should continue to do, or just not worry about it?
Mark, the Roth King?
I mean, I'm all for Roth. I don't know that you need to be converting. I would probably, you're doing Roth contributions now, so that's the right move. I wouldn't go crazy with having to convert.
Yeah, because we want to conserve some of your money, right? We want you to have that. You want the flexibility. So,
the 529, are you guys making regular contributions or just kind of here and there?
No, just here and there. And so that was one of my questions about, should we be contributing more? Are we good where we're at?
You have 65,000 in there now. If you did nothing, by the time your daughter's 18-ish, it'll probably be around 165.
So maybe when you're doing the reallocation of your partner's brokerage account, maybe you take some of that money and pop it into the 529.
Okay.
Possibility, right? Like if you're going to sell anyway, and maybe, you can each put this year 17,000, next year 18,000. You can, jumpstart that a little bit.
At what point could we say, hey, we're done contributing to the 529?
Never.
No. Where's she going to school?
Is she going to the University of Michigan, Michigan State, or what's a private school in Michigan? What's a private college that's, or is she going to like Stanford?
So I think, my thought was, I'm not going to give her a blank check. If she has goals of going to graduate school, I'd say, go to a reasonable state school or a school where you can get a scholarship and save some money for graduate school. So I guess I'm not gung-ho about saying, here, get into the most expensive school you can and we'll pay for all of it.
Huh. Okay. Well, Mark, what do you think?
Like I said, if you do nothing else, you're going to have you'll have $165,000 conservatively, maybe more, who knows? That's a good start, obviously. If your parents want to keep making gifts along the way, have at it. Go for it.
No, but like at what point does she feel like she's done? That's the question.
I don't know. I can't answer that because I don't know where the girl
we don't know.
wants to go to school. So it could cost $300,000 to go to college.
In today's dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think you still have to put some more money in. I would do this. I would try to put, if we're going to do some reallocating this year anyway, you're going to free up some cash. I think it's this. So now we're talking to you, it's still 23. I would put in, as you reallocate for this year, I would do, each of you put 17 in this year. And let's see how things roll next year. Let's make sure that the partner has a job still.
Do you get a state income tax deduction there for contributions to the 529?
Up to $5,000. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
All right. Well, then definitely do that.
Yeah. So definitely do that. But if you wanted to, you could do 17 and 17, and the next year do 5 and 5, right? Because you're not filing. Who's claiming the kid? You are, because you make more money, right? You're head of household.
Yes, and I do the dependent care FSA.
Good. Okay. So, then I would at least do 17 and 17 this year, 5 and 5 next year, and then let's see how things roll.
Or is it 5,000 total deduction or per?
Well, it has
person.
to be per person, right? So they're both taxpayers. That'd be good. I think that's what you should do. Don't count on those RSUs for anything. Keep doing what you're doing. I think you're in great shape, Laura. I like this. I like the plan. I think there's like cleanup. You're doing a little,
Yes.
but it's not a lot. This is like nipping and tucking. There's not
Okay.
big, right? Do you agree, Mark?
Yeah, they're in great shape. She's rocking it. She's only in her 30s, got almost $500,000. Yeah, all good.
These are like wealthy 30-somethings, man.
That was not me.
Well, that was not me. I was building. I was putting all my money in my company. What a dumbass that was. But that said, you're not a dumbass. You're in great shape. What else can we answer for you? What other questions do you have?
One final question. We both have disability insurance that we got through like a Northwestern insurance sales agent. And so, like I was looking at mine and it's either like $60 or $70 per month. And then if I end up getting disabled, it'd be like $3,300 per month. Is that something that I should keep or?
Doesn't your job offer that?
Yeah. Don't you have employer DI?
Yes.
Is there any chance that either of you would be self-employed in the future, do you think?
Definitely not me. I don't see that in the foreseeable future.
I mean, look, DI is really important. If you don't have it, you have it. So someone sold this to you, which was, you didn't buy it. Someone sold it to you. I think it's a normal corporate benefit that most people get. The difference is when you pay the premium, right? And if something were to happen to you, then the money that you receive as a benefit is not taxable. When your employer pays the premium and you have to go out on disability and collect a benefit, then it is taxable. That said, it ain't that much. It's not going to be that much money as a disability benefit anyway. And I don't think this is worth it for you right now. I'd rather you take the money and put it in the 529 plan.
Yeah, but I agree. But it's also so cheap. I would maybe open enrollment just passed, so maybe just hang on to it until the next open enrollment season and see what you get through your employer.
Well, she'd probably get 60%. It's probably a standard benefit. Just look at it.
Just confirm that before you get rid of it.
All right.
Because it's not a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah. And I know I do get it. And it's the percentage increases the longer that you've been at the company.
All right. This sounds good. I think you're in good shape, Laura. Laura from Michigan. Go Blue.
Mm-hmm.
You feeling good? You worried? What's going on for you? You nervous? You're in great shape.
I know. I feel like I always think about it.
Why? Let go. Let go. It's okay. You're doing a great job. Now you're like on autopilot in many respects. You already got there, right? You got the money. You're making a lot of money together. You bought a nice house, no doubt. But how much money could you possibly spend? You are like living with a 2-year-old. You cannot be spending a ton of money, right?
Well, she's the most expensive thing.
I know, but you know what I mean? Like you're not going out and going to concerts I'm going to fly and follow Taylor Swift wherever she is. Like that's not happening right now in your life. And you're probably homebodies because you like your house. Are you going to spend a lot of money on the house?
We have been spending money on our house. And so I think the past year has been, like when I look at our finances, a lot of the extra cash has been going into repairs or furniture. And then my sister got married in Italy earlier this year. And that was a big expense.
Where'd you go?
She got married outside of Florence.
Ooh, up
Wow,
north.
that sounds terrible. I'm so sorry. That's awful. What's your view on a destination wedding, Mark? Are you into it or not?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
I mean, look at you. You're getting ready to go to a massive one.
I got a big one. Listen, Laura, I got to go to South Africa for a destination wedding.
Oh my gosh.
That's a big ask.
That's asking a lot.
By the way, there's only 2 direct flights from New York to Cape Town a week. So you can only imagine how hosed I got on my airfare. But let me ask you this. Do you feel like your spending has now moderated in this next, as we approach 2024, you feel like a somewhat of a moderated spend right now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hoping, next year should be a much more level.
Okay. Well, let's see how things flesh out. If you're feeling a little worried about the cash and, you don't want to put too much money in the 529, I'm okay doing 5 and 5 this year, 5 and 5 next year, and seeing how you feel about that. But I just think that there's always a unique opportunity when you have a brokerage account, you're reallocating. It's good for you to be able to say, hey, I have the cash available. Why not put the money in right now? And it's so tax efficient. I love it. I do.
I should get a bonus around, let's say 40 next year.
Nice.
All right. So pop that right in the brokerage account.
Okay.
I'm going to make one last comment, and that is I think you're doing a great job. And I just want to make sure that both of you are on the same page with kind of everything that we've talked about. And like, here's my login, here's that. But like, those are kind of the annoying things that if you're not married, actually are a pain in the ass to deal with if something bad happens. So there has to be like the super secret, here's where every single password is, and here's what everything is, because those things are actually hard to deal with if you are not legally married. The companies are pains in the asses about it. So just putting that out there because I've been dealing with estate issues for the last year and a half or so. So
That's a
good.
point. Thank you.
All right. What else? You good?
Yeah, I'm
All
good.
right.
This has been very, very helpful.
Fantastic. Mark, you good?
I'm good.
Gang, Mark and I are both CFPs. And by the way, I have not done my continuing ed yet. So it's
Get cracking.
tick tock. And Kevin Keller just called me out of the blue from the CFP board. And I was like, are you calling because I haven't done my continuing ed? He's like, no, I'm calling about something else. So I want to thank everybody for watching today. Jill on Money, powered by The Compound. You can like and subscribe to us, please, and pass us along to all your friends. And Mark and I are both certified financial planners, which is why we can dispense of all this advice. Of course, if you have significant financial issues that are rattling around in your brain, we know that there are wonderful professionals out there. So I put that plug out there. What else? Lift someone up. Do something nice for someone today. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thanks for watching us, and we'll talk to you next time.